Welcome to the Michigan Man Podcast on Wolverine Sports Radio, a member of the V-Sporto Network, and in partnership with SB Nation's Maize and Brew, for Wolverine fans from coast to coast. Go Blue and welcome to this month's Michigan Man Extra. I'm your host, Mike Fitzpatrick. Today we're joined by all Big Ten linebacker Ben Gedeon. It's not a long interview, but Ben was on the way home for some time with his family before the team leaves for Miami. Next week, it's time to get ready for the Orange Bowl. On Tuesday's Game Day show, my guest will be the angel of the big house, Michigan beat writer Angelique Chengelis from the Detroit News. On Thursday's Visitors Edition, we'll hear from the legendary voice of Florida State football, Gene Deckerhoff. Gene is really a busy guy this time of year, as he is also the radio voice of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So make sure you join us next week as we prepare for Friday night's Orange Bowl. With the team taking a short break before heading to Miami, it's sort of quiet right now from a news perspective. Wednesday, senior tackle Maurice Hurst announced that he would forego the NFL draft and come back for his senior year, which is very good news. Clete Hill is still not sure if he will head to the NFL or stay for his fifth year. He said yesterday he is leaning towards staying, but he is testing the NFL waters and getting advice before making that decision. I'm sure his head coach will counsel him well. Jabril Peppers said earlier this week he still has not decided which direction he will go. He said it is a very hard decision to make. Most observers, though, think he will go very high in the first round, so it might be really hard to walk away from that big money. We shall find out soon. Right now, he said the only thing he is focused on is beating Florida State. When the season started, we didn't have many questions about our defense. If there was one area we wondered about, it was the linebacking core. Not that there wasn't talent there, but they were inexperienced. It turned out we didn't have to worry at all. Don Brown said he knew in spring practice that Ben Gedeon was the leader of that position group. He led by example, and with Don Brown's urging, became a more vocal leader. He turned in a great senior season and was named All Big Ten by both the coaches and the media. He joins me next here on The Michigan Man on Wolverine Sports Radio, a member of the V-Sporto Network, and in partnership with SB Nation's Maize and Brew. Here with us on our Michigan Man Extra for the month of December is senior linebacker Ben Gedeon. Ben, great to have you on the show with us.
Great to be on here.
Well, before we talk about the Orange Bowl coming up, Ben, if we could, let's just talk a minute or so about you and where you came from. You're an Ohio guy from Hudson. Always wonder with our players from Ohio, were you a Buckeye fan growing up?
Not necessarily a Buckeye fan. Always a fan of the Big Ten, though. I grew up just kind of watching all the Big Ten teams play. Not necessarily a big Buckeye fan. I do have a lot of family who are huge Buckeyes, though.
Well, when you were a senior in high school down there in Ohio, you were highly recruited, and you could have gone just about anywhere. You had a lot of choices. What made you choose Michigan?
For me, it was just the best combination of academics and football program, and I fell in love with the program, the history, and obviously Coach Madison recruited me, was a big part of it, and got a great relationship with him.
Well, I think a lot of folks also know you had a brother that played football at Harvard. Another brother went to the Naval Academy. So clearly, along with athletics, academics has always been a priority with your family, hasn't it been?
Yes, absolutely. Those are two guys I look up to, so I always wanted to get a standard of education that they had.
Well, last year you were academic All Big Ten. You earned the University of Michigan Athletic Achievement Award. And I know we don't spend enough time talking about the academic piece of things, which in the end is why you guys are there. But football takes up so much of your time. But if you could talk about the academics and what a great opportunity that presents for you and for all student athletes at Michigan.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the education here is it's second to none. All the resources we have as athletes as well, to our studying facilities and our counselors. It's just a great opportunity to get a good education as well as play top-notch Big Ten athletics.
Well, this year, of course, is your senior year. You were chosen All Big Ten second team by the media, third team by the coaches, and at the banquet last week, you received the Rogers Atkoff Award as the team's best linebacker. Those are a lot of honors, Ben, and you have to be very proud of what you've accomplished. It makes all the hard work worth it, doesn't it?
Yes, absolutely. But obviously, I wouldn't be here without the great group of guys I came in with, and it's a tight group of guys that we've been together for a few years now. So, I owe a lot to my teammates.
Well, one of the things when I think about you, Ben, is in spring practice, Jim Harbaugh kept telling the media on several occasions when he was talking about you, he'd say, hey, that Ben Gedeon is a stud. And from the get-go, in spring, Don Brown said it was clear you were the leader of that linebacking core. And I remember Coach Brown saying he just wanted you to be more vocal as a leader. Was that being more vocal something you had to work at?
Yeah, definitely. I don't consider myself, necessarily a huge vocal rah-rah guy, but I think coming into this year, that's something that Coach Brown, and myself focused on. Especially as a middle linebacker, you got to make all the calls and you got to kind of be the bell cow. So I focused on that all year, and I think I've gotten better and kind of developed that part of my game.
Well, we've been hearing Coach Harbaugh refer to the bowl preparation as Christmas camp, which of course is underway now. Has practice been pretty intense up to this point?
Yeah, it has. Done a lot of good work though. Throughout the season, some of the young guys lose some of their, high tempo reps. So we've been able to give the young guys some experience with that past couple weeks. Getting into the game plan stuff. Anytime you can get a jump start on the game plan, is an advantage. So we've been able to do that, and I think it's been some great work.
When do you guys actually leave for Miami?
Christmas, 4 p.m., I believe. We're heading out on Christmas Day.
Well, there you go. That'll be nice. And I know when you get down to Miami, you'll, of course, be practicing, fine-tuning the game plan. But there's going to be some fun time, too, and well-deserved, I might add. Are you looking forward to some fun in the sun, especially after the way our weather's been here the last week and a half or two?
Yeah, for sure. It's been pretty brutal around here, so we're all looking forward to go down south and enjoy Miami.
Well, in the end, of course, you're there to play Florida State along with having a good time. And this is a good young football team, isn't it, Ben?
Yes, absolutely. They're very impressive. All facets of the game. They got some game-changing players for sure.
Well, right. They're a very balanced offense, but the running game probably is their strong suit, featuring maybe, Ben, the best running back we've seen so far this year.
Yeah, I would definitely say probably the best running back. Dynamic in so many different ways. You see the cuts he make. You don't see many running backs in the country make these kind of cuts, and with such aggressiveness and speed that he does, it's very impressive to watch. So that's going to be a focus of ours, is shutting down Dalvin Cook.
Well, I know watching it on tape is one thing, and seeing it in person is another thing. But from watching them on tape, from a talent perspective, can you compare them to anyone that's been on the schedule this year?
You can compare them talent-wise to, these Ohio States and some of the other teams we played. Just as far as the athletes they have on defense, it's the one of their DNs. It's just very impressive. They have a lot of athletes, and we do too. So we're gonna focus on that.
Well, with us on our Michigan Man Extra segment for this month is Michigan senior Ben Gedeon, linebacker. Ben, on December 30th in the Orange Bowl, you're going to take the field for the last time in a Michigan uniform. Have you really taken the time to think about that yet?
I don't think it really has hit yet, but I think this week it's starting to set in a little bit with our last practices at the Michigan football facility. We had our last lift there yesterday, and that was kind of mind blowing because we've been in there for so long. It's special, and we don't want to go out on a bad note. We definitely want to finish this thing the way we should.
This time of the year, I think most of us are a little retrospective, and we look back on what's happened during the year and even our lives as another year fades away. Have you found yourself, though, thinking about just how fast your time at Michigan has gone by and what it means to you overall?
Oh, absolutely. You come in as a freshman and you hear the seniors talk about, take advantage of every day. It's going to fly by, and you kind of take it with a grain of salt. But now that, after 4 years, you kind of look back on your experiences and you talk about how fast it was for you. And, it was just truly a special 4 years for a lot of us. So we couldn't have picked a better place to come. And, through all the adversity of coaching changes and everything like that, I don't think any of us would change it for the world because we've learned so much from this university and this football program.
Ben, it's all going to be over pretty darn quickly after next week's bowl game. When you look ahead at the future, do you see yourself wanting to take a stab at the NFL?
Yeah, that's my plan. I'll be spending next semester, getting ready, training for the next level. So I'm excited about that.
Final thought for you, though, Ben. At home games, I'm sure you've heard the crowd chant, "It's great to be a Michigan Wolverine." For Ben Gedeon, has it been great being a Michigan Wolverine?
Absolutely. Like I said earlier, I wouldn't trade this experience for anything. It's been an unbelievable 4 years. And I think a lot of us finally understand what it means to be a Michigan man, and we're very proud to say that we went here and played football here.
Well, whatever is next for you, Ben, we wish you the best of luck. You are a linebacker's linebacker, sir, and I have enjoyed watching you play here at Michigan. So next Friday, I hope you go out with a big win against Florida State, Ben. Go Blue, and thanks for taking the time to join us.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Go Blue.
A few closing thoughts coming up next here on The Michigan Man on Wolverine Sports Radio, a member of the V Sporto Network, and in partnership with SB Nation's Maize and Brew. Thanks again to Ben Gedeon for being our guest on this month's Michigan Man Extra. We wish him the best in his final game as a Michigan Wolverine. A reminder that I will be back on Tuesday with our Game Day show. Beat writer Angelique Chengelis from the Detroit News will join me from sunny Miami. And then on Thursday, the radio play-by-play voice of Seminole football, Gene Deckerhoff, will stop by for a visit. So please join us next week as we get ready for Friday's Orange Bowl. Before we say goodbye today, I would like to take just a minute to wish each and every one of you a very Merry Christmas. It's been another great year here at the Michigan Man, and I appreciate hearing from you and your support for the show. It's been 7 years we've been doing our little podcast, and in January we'll get ready for year number 8. It's going to be a busy winter on the Michigan sports scene, so make sure you join us each week for what we think is the best podcast coverage of your Wolverines. Again, a very merry and blessed Christmas to each and every one of you. I'm your host, Mike Fitzpatrick. Until next week, take care, and as always, go Blue. Thanks for joining us today on The Michigan Man, here on Wolverine Sports Radio, a member of the V Sporto Network, and in partnership with SB Nation's Maize and Brew. Our listener lines are open 24/7 for your calls at 313-263-4842. That's 313-263-4842. Or email us at themichiganmanpodcast@yahoo.com. That's themichiganmanpodcast@yahoo.com. The Michigan Man Podcast is produced at the studios of Robin Lynn Productions, Allen Park, Michigan, and is not affiliated with the University of Michigan. Go Blue!